nighters. All right. We're streaming. All right. We're live. First time, first show. We're in my house. The studio. We're in our studio. So.
We're in my house. My third room.
No, we don't give away the secrets of filmmaking. Welcome to the Average Joe Movie Show. I'm Matt Wallace. This is Andrew Brown.
How's it going?
And we have Shane Scantling on the webcam.
Hey,
over
how's it
that
going?
way. He's blown out. Don't worry about him. His teeth are really white.
Yes.
So, well, we made it. I think this is 3 years in the making. I remember posting a YouTube little template 3 years ago. And actually, we're not even on YouTube. We're on Facebook Live right now. So if you're on YouTube, I'm sorry, we're not going to be there. We had some technical difficulties. This is the first show, so we apologize. We'll fix that by next show, which will be next week. So you might see a different person in this chair. You might not. So we'll get ready to go. So Drew, how was your off season? Because the last time we saw each other on the show was Black Christmas. That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah. So getting the studio set up was crazy. So.
Well, yeah, obviously that was going to take a while. Yeah, I don't know. Had some time to recoup and kind of missed the show. You know, it's
yeah,
definitely eager to be back on it. You know, and get the ball rolling.
Dude, it was tough. Like I was talking to, because Zach was gone. You know, and I was just, the whole show was coming into, a transition. So I was just like, well, this is probably a better chance than ever to get us on film. So
Right.
ripped down this entire studio, which was, pretty cluttered around, and then we got,
You've been talking about it since day one. I mean,
Yeah.
It's something that was inevitable, and I'm glad you finally made it happen. It looks awesome. It looks very professional, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. I hope the
Lighting's
viewers think the
nice.
same.
Yeah.
So now all you have to do is dance, monkey, dance. Now.
Oh man, no, that song's gonna be stuck in my head for 4 days.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And of course, I this is the first show, and yesterday was my birthday.
So we're all 100% today.
I'm with it.
Fresh.
I didn't puke in the cat box at all last night.
Dude, you didn't even mention that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you don't know?
Yeah.
Before I even got there, I got a message saying you had taken 6 or 7 shots. I was like, oh my God, no. Not
He's
this
done.
again. Dude, have you seen the videos of you in the parking lot? Check those out.
I'm sure they'll be on Facebook.
Yep.
So
I got one of you just sitting on the stairs, just like about to collapse at the bar.
oh,
just
that's well, I'm here. I'm alive. Thank you, Facebook. I'd probably be still in bed if I didn't have this show, so it's good. But
Not the only one.
but yeah, this is gonna be the dream team now. Zach is not here, so it's gonna be the comic relief is gone. I think. Nah, man. We still got Shane, so
He's going to update us on John Woo, man. What the hell?
Zach, we miss you, bud. We miss you, and he'll be coming to visit sooner or later. So
Yeah.
But movie wise, it was kind of lull.
Yeah, it
a
feels
little
like
bit.
we're at a low point right
we
now.
we had a huge high point in December. It was, you had The Matrix, which, if anybody knows me, I love the Matrix movies, and I fucking hate that one. But I can't say that I loathe it, but I definitely don't think it's. I wouldn't even consider it a part of the Matrix at all, even though it is. Like,
That's how it always goes. When you come back with a continuation so many years later, I don't even care if it's obviously one of the original directors or the original creative talent behind it. It just, I don't know, you feel that gap.
yeah, it was very, very.
It's almost
palpable.
impossible to pull that off.
It was like that with Star Wars. Like, most people hated the trilogy that came out, the one that came out in 1999, the Phantom Menace, I believe.
And then they made it even worse by making a sequel.
Yeah, yeah, another time skip,
we're
and
gonna-
then another. Yeah,
It just never flows naturally.
Yep.
It never flows smoothly, and it always ends up being like hurting the integrity of the series. You know.
Yeah, and the thing about the things that work in these types of lores is branching off canon, and doing it that way.
Yep.
From what I understand, I haven't watched any of the shows from Star Wars, but I hear like The Mandalorian is amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
they have creative freedom with a lot of those shows too. Like with the trilogy, they're very, very, heavy-handed with you've got to do these certain things. But with the series, directors have a little bit more freedom.
With Star Wars, there's so many books, there's so much lore. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't read the books, so I don't know if Grogu's even in it. I doubt it.
No, probably
But what have you?
I'm not super in touch with all that. I did watch Mandalorian. It's awesome, but it just seems like, they just have so much material. They can branch off in so many directions infinitely forever. Now that it's not just movies, that they're doing multiple series. Book of Boba Fett just came out. That ties right into Mandalorian. And then there's something else coming out
Obi-Wan.
pretty soon. Yeah, Obi-Wan's
Yep.
coming out.
It's starting to feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of their bag now. Like if they keep making
Dude,
series,
it's some of the best Star Wars material I've ever seen.
Yep.
It's up there with the original, trilogy. It's so maybe that is the route that they should continue to take.
I think so because branching off of Rogue One, which I loved. A lot of people actually a lot of people didn't really like Solo for some reason.
I like Solo a lot.
I thought it was very entertaining. Ron Howard doesn't really make a bad movie. He has a template and he sticks to it.
It just felt like generic action adventure movie, but
Yeah,
I liked it as a
didn't blow me
movie.
didn't blow me out of the water or anything. But I was all about it. When I watched it in theaters, it's like it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
But it seems like that should be the way to go. I actually like more of the Marvel. Well, I can't really say that. I did really like Spider-Man No Way Home. So and that was another movie that came out in that huge spike of movies, and then January, of course, hit. So
Dune.
nope. Dune, but that came out.
That was
in October.
prior to that.
That was
yeah,
October.
yeah.
yeah.
That was that.
But that's just what I'm remembering of like the high point of what we were experiencing.
It was like the high point of the year was like October through December.
Yeah.
And I was just like, movies are back, baby. And
Yeah.
now movies are not back because I haven't been back. I mean, we had a couple good movies. One didn't come out in theaters. It could have, but it didn't, which was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Don't be confused with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974 or the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre or the 2011 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Or the one with Matthew McConaughey cross-dressing Next Generation from the 90s.
Yeah, don't.
Or there's so many of them.
There's so
or
many.
the 3D one.
They tried to reestablish the brand again. They literally copied off the homework of Halloween on this new Texas Chainsaw.
50 years later, Sally Hardesty comes back for vengeance,
And she's
just
in-
like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of becoming like a drab concept. It was a little too predictable and not done as well.
Oh yeah, no.
Sally almost was pointless in the movie. Like it made sense to do that with Jamie Lee Curtis, who's a badass, a scream queen, to bring her back and have her be even more of a badass. Sally in this movie, they tried it and it just fucking fell flat, just like every other character in the movie. There's no character arc, there's no development. You don't care about anybody.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly. One of the girls got shot. Apparently in some shooting. I don't know. We would never find out.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, it's just there, and she picks up an AR-15.
That was one of those pointless things. It felt like they were it got very political. It was all politics. They're pandering to the times. It's mass shooting and gun control and Confederate flag, stuff like that. All controversial things that are going on right now, which is good. I think there's a place for that in horror. George A. Romero always did it in zombie movies, but it's got to take a back seat to the art, like the movie's got to be good first.
Yeah.
You got to develop your characters, and then if you want to get a little bit of your political agenda in there, it makes sense.
It was almost immediate. Like
It was
get off
too
the-
much. It was like they were shoving it down my throat, dude. I don't know. I didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah, I mean the violence. That's what I had a conversation with a buddy, is that you can have violent gore be campy, but everything else has to be campy as well. You can't just be like, or just be super dark in general. Like if you're just like, it seemed like the script took a backseat to the gore and to I like the atmosphere. They kind of made it seem like they were in Texas, and then they added. I thought the casting was weird. I was like, and it was almost like fish out of barrel, or fish out of water. I'm sorry, and like these characters, I was just like, I get that that's probably something, but it really didn't work. It was like it was just oddly placed rather than like when you get those, it's pretty entertaining, like them like pretty much just looking around and not knowing what the hell's going on. And then again, you had the violence, which was very practical in most points. Leatherface took his mom's face and put it on his, and that was pretty cool. I did
like what they did with the mask. It's not my favorite or anything, but it was a little bit unique in that respect, at least, that it's, spoiler alert, it's his mom's face. She dies very early in the film, so it's not a huge spoiler. It's kind of what sets Leatherface off on his killing spree in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some crazy kills, dude. He's chucking that sledge at people. Yeah. He's throwing the chainsaw, sliding it across the floor. He breaks the guy's arm and stabs him in the throat with his own bones.
Yeah.
And, it definitely wasn't short on gore value.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not one of the most important aspects to me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in it for just that kind of thing, and you can really, really shut your brain off to the rest of it, I mean, this is a movie for you. But I mean, and if you're a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you've already watched it. So,
well, it's my favorite horror film of all time, and or one of my top two at least. I was very, very disappointed. It was definitely lacking the original atmosphere that I was hoping for.
They could have been so creepy.
It didn't make much sense. It's like, why aren't they in the original house? Why are they in something that used to be an orphanage in the town square? We've never seen any of this. They don't mention any of the family, the grandpa or his brother, and suddenly it's him and his mom, not in the original house, in the original location. It's like the Sawyer family didn't exist. Sally just happens to be thrown in there, but she's like the least important character. She's not in it all that much at all, and she's just lackluster. I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I shut off the movie.
Holy crap!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was just like, well, I'm done with this. Poof.
Walk away.
If I was in a movie theater, I'd probably stay around it and to watch it in the very end. But I was just like, this sucks.
Well, you missed out on a pretty cool ending. I will say that. If nothing else, just watch the very last sequence, the last shot. It saved it a little bit for me in the end.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was pretty cool what they did actually.
When I started seeing that, it was just like, the chainsaw is automatically on. It's like, when that was one of the things that was brought to my attention. I was just like, what? Oh yeah, like all of a sudden you'd be hiding, and
you don't hear him like pulling the.
Yeah, you don't hear him. It's just on. It's just on. I just don't get it. So
he was pretty wild. His movements and stuff. He would appear out of nowhere sometimes and just like so erratic, swinging the chainsaw and just the way he walks and stuff. Some of those moments were pretty good. I wouldn't even call them jump scares. They just happened so suddenly. Kind of cool, I try to look for redeeming elements in it, but really, I just think I think the movie's garbage.
Yeah,
I hate it. I'm not gonna watch it again. I love the series, from the first one that's so unsettling and the greatest horror film of all time potentially, to the second one that gets really wacky and comedic, to Leatherface, the third one, to whatever they did with the Next Generation. It just had this. Like I said, it's lacking the atmosphere. Like, I didn't see any human bones or lampshades made out of human skin and all the weird stuff and random chickens running around and, shit like that. Like, that really weird, unsettling atmosphere. It's like, I don't know if this guy's part of the family. I don't know if he's going to be this guy's just a hitchhiker. Surely he's just a random guy. It ties in and they all end up being part of the family and whatever. I kind of thought they were going to do that with, like, the mechanic character in this. I just think it would have been more interesting. I wanted to see more of the Sawyer family. Instead, you just have the mom and Leatherface, and they just kill her off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't for me.
I could just sense that he just one problem after the other.
Dude, I could literally just shit talk it for an hour without taking a breath. I have so much more shit talking I could do about this movie.
We'll hold it off. What we'll do is we'll move on to a movie that's way better. And you know what? And that's saying something for the zero substance it has, and that's Jackass.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it knows what it is, though. It's
Right.
not trying to be something else.
Texas Chainsaw should know what it is too after 700 movies. You know, like there's 4 Jackass movies and they got it right number 1.
It's kind of hard to fuck up the Jackass template.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to, they could literally get on screen and repeat all the same skits, and it would still be funny and good. Like, thankfully, they don't. They creatively bring new elements in every time. You know.
They could literally just go up and have somebody kick Jackass in the nuts. And I'm like, it almost feels like, you know.
Speaking of nuts, I think I saw like 64 pairs of them in that film. Jesus Christ, man. Very explicit. Do not bring your children to the new Jackass movie because you will see the dicks and balls of everybody in the film, essentially. Minus 1 or 2 cast members.
Yeah. Oh,
dude, the opening sequence. Oh, my God. It took me a second to realize what it was, and I was like, is that a fucking dick monster?
Dude, I'm going to see that movie again tonight. Like, it's so good. Like, I was literally for an hour and a half. It was actually almost 2 hours, and that's kind of the brilliance of this movie, or just that template is just have people just fuck themselves up for almost 2 hours, and it wouldn't feel like 2 hours.
You're not tired of it. You're not checking your watch, thinking,
I never.
I got to get out of here. You know, I'm like. You're like, oh man, I wish there was one more skit to watch. You know?
And like you always, there's always stuff at the end credits, and you're just there for the entire movie.
Yeah.
You know, and when you went to see it, did you see the interviews at the end?
Is it after the credits?
Yeah, there was a small little one. I don't know if that was just an opening night thing. Or
okay,
what
because.
happened.
Yeah, we waited through the credits, I believe, and I was kind of like glancing back on my way out, and I didn't see that.
Oh wow! Yeah, I guess it was an opening night thing. They got all the crew members together on like a couch, conference kind of thing.
That's
and
cool.
they just asked the newcomers. They were like, "So, what'd you learn most about from being with the old guys?" And they kind of asked the same thing with the olders and with the new people. And it was really nice, seeing everybody. They're like literally like, this is a dream come true. This is, what have you. Like these, Johnny Knoxville and, Chris Pontius and Dave England, all them. Aaron McGahee. Steve-O. Dude.
Aaron McGahee is like, he's the funniest one to me.
He was on Spotlight the whole time.
Lot, yeah.
He had Francis Ngannou punch him in the nuts as hard as he could. So that's insane.
It dented the cup. He shows the cup later. It's like,
oh shit!
He had to. Yeah, later in the film, he mentions that he's like, "This is the cup that I was wearing," and it's like, it looks like it's made of steel, and it's fucking dented in. So he felt it a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Francis Ngannou. Then he got a puck.
Oh my god, it was brutal.
It just got worse and worse.
The girl with the softball.
I was like, and she goes, yes. like, oh my gosh.
God,
they had to do it like 3 times. They're like, oh, we got to do it again.
Allie's like, why is nobody else doing it? Why is it all Aaron McGahee? like that dude's never having children. I don't know if he has children, but it ain't happening for him.
Let's hope the children already exist, and he's or maybe he's been sterile for 25 years. So.
I like Dave England. He looks like, you've seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Me and Allie watch it a lot. He reminds me of Rickety Cricket, like later in the show when he's messed up, like with an eye patch and he's missing teeth and he's got the long scraggly. I'm like, dude, Dave England has become Rickety Cricket from that shit. Like and you can tell. I think he has like fucking PTSD from some of the shit they've done to him. Man, he's just everybody's so on edge at all times. Man, they're like terrified to be on set.
I can't stop.
You can't go to the bathroom. You can't do, and you're not safe on the set of Jackass, dude.
You can't get coffee.
You definitely can't get coffee in this film.
Would you say that there's any like a skit that actually pops the most out of all of them?
For sure, my favorite was when they're on the merry-go-round and drinking the milk chugging the milk.
Oh yeah,
and all that.
That was the
and,
final scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, was that? Yeah, it was the final scene.
And then
yeah.
they had the Misfits. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk to you about it.
Yeah, they play Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits. They're spinning around, and you're getting close-ups of them constantly spinning, trying to chug a quart of milk. And then all of a sudden, tanks start coming in, jets are flying over. There's explosions going on, and I love that because they're already so disoriented with what's going on. They're so sick. You know when you're in that situation, you're just so queasy. You're about to vomit a quart of milk, and now all of a sudden it sounds like you're in the middle of a warfare, like of literally a battle taking place. And they're like, "What is it? What's happening? Am I about to die?" Like
he's getting shot with paintballs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then they come in with the paintball guns. Shot Steve-O in the dick, straight in the dick. He shows it.
It's so good, and that's the thing. Like, I was literally able to shut my brain off and from the rest of the world, and what have you, whatever politics you have, or it's just, and a lot of people go to movies with and sometimes they're pushing a political agenda, and you're just like, God, I get enough of this at home, man. That's why I turn on movies.
Right.
That's why I really try to do this. And there were two. We'll talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. It's the same deal. It's just like, it was just awesome. I don't know. Did you end up seeing?
No, I actually still haven't seen it. Well, it's still in theaters. I do intend to see it.
It is a #1 grossing movie in America now, past Avatar. So
wow.
Yeah. Domestic, in the world, I don't think.
In the post-COVID America.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's how influential that.
Well, it's a throwback. They brought back Doc Ock. They brought back the Green Goblin in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard, yeah. So that's enough to get me on board. And Sam Raimi, man, like.
Well, he's doing.
Doing the next one.
He's doing Doctor Strange, yeah.
Or Doctor Strange, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so.
Man, I am out of touch with the lore and everything that's been going on with Doctor Strange in the Marvel universe. But I have got to go to that because it's Sam Raimi. We get the opportunity to see a Sam Raimi movie in theaters. For those who don't know, the original Evil Dead series, The Quick and the Dead.
That's one of my favorites.
I'm big on horror. He's big on. We're all big on horror, and he is just one of the godfathers. Yep. I fortunately had the chance to meet him a couple of years ago at a horror convention in Orlando, and he's a good dude.
Dude, he
doesn't make movies often enough, but when he does, you hope to see remnants of his original style. Very innovative camera work and techniques, and interesting fast editing and stuff like that. So I'll just be looking for that kind of stuff. I'm definitely going to go see it, and it looks great. The trailer looks great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Spider-Man, they brought back all the Peters too.
Yeah,
so
I heard about that.
Like, that. I mean, everybody knew, but everybody was still wanting to be surprised. Like when Andrew Garfield pulls off his Spider-Man outfit, and the crowd just went fucking nuts. Like, did we see it together? No, I saw it by myself. I remember that.
So all the Peters, Tobey Maguire's in it, or
Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. I did see it with a couple of friends actually.
That's cool.
So,
pretty interesting.
it erupted. And there was a scene where the final battle scene, they're fighting on the Statue of Liberty, and like the three Spider-Man's just like, all right, we got to do this. So we'll use our Spidey senses, and they are like, all right, we'll think with that, and like they do their swings to kind of do a 180, and like I don't even know how to even describe it, but they're attaching all their webs together to have Tom Holland swing them around, and then they land in their traditional their style pose of Spider-Man. I was like, that's the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life, right there.
So how does that concept make sense? Like logically, is it like they're just genuinely are different Spider-Mans? Like that they all ended up in similar situations. There were like, how does that relate to like the original comic material or anything like that? Did they really just go in their own direction with that?
Or with the multiverse? The multiverse exists in comic books, and that's
But has that ever been a thing where there's multiple Spider-Mans at once? Within a story. I guess I'm just ignorant on that subject.
But
I just thought there was a one and only Spider-Man.
A lot of people would a lot of people shit on movies because they try to. They're like, oh, they're tainting the lore of it, what have you, and what have you. It's fine to think that way, but just think about whenever you get like your Superman comic and it's off of Earth 2 or something like that, or I think that's I think that's what they call it. They call it Earth 2. There's a different Superman. There's a whole different universe of stuff, and like they do their own thing. And it was like, why can't a movie kind of make its own universe? But little dibble dabble of what goes on.
I think that's cool because sky's the limit. But I could see myself also being one of those sticklers for the original material. Like if it were like Lord of the Rings or something like Tolkien stuff, I'd be like, don't you fuck with it. Don't you change it. Like
Amazon, are you fucking watching this right now? Fuck. you fuck.
Oh, speaking of, dude, the new Lord of the Rings series, really looking forward to that as well.
Is there a bunch of lore to their series of the...
There's a lot, man.
I mean, I know...
There was a lot of Tolkien material. It wasn't just The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series. There's the Silmarillion. There's just family lineages of the dwarves and all kinds of maps of Middle-earth. And there's a lot of company material out there. A lot of stuff I haven't actually read, to be honest, but I'd like to. There's a lot of material out there where you could really go off and do different side stories about different people, different characters, and types of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you recognize any of the characters that they already shown? I love the movies, but I wouldn't say that I'm a connoisseur of any of them. So
yeah,
would you is there anybody you recognize? Like, is there? Would you say?
Yeah, they're going to bring back a bunch of the original characters. Yeah.
Is what's his name? Hugo Weaving gonna be in it? Hugo Weaving's?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I got to look a little more into it.
That dude wanted to be in The Matrix, but
oh man, he's awesome. What's he been doing?
He's doing screenplays or actual plays in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where he was.
Nice.
So, and he's like, I had this whole thing. So I'm like, okay. But continuing our venture to today, what has come out that's I couldn't even tell you.
I'm trying to play catch up on Oscar-nominated stuff.
That's the other thing. Oscars came out.
Licorice Pizza.
Oh, God, yeah, you're right.
I saw it twice in theaters already.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, PTA. When his movies come out, it's the biggest movie-going event of the year for me, always. Love him. There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, Hard Eight, Punch Drunk Love. I love his movies, man. He's so awesome. I love his style. This one in particular is more of a romance comedy, and like the best I've seen in a while, because I like really offbeat sort of stuff, like Silver Linings Playbook, where it's not.
Is that Paul Thomas Anderson?
No, it's just another offbeat romance comedy, in my opinion. But I would almost compare it to that at times. It's just beautiful, man. Everything about it. The score, Johnny Greenwood did the score. Alana Haim was the lead actress in it, and unfortunately, she got snubbed. She didn't get an Oscar nomination. The lead actor is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. Both of them, I believe it was their first role ever in film, and they killed it, man. They're awesome. He's very reminiscent of Philip Seymour Hoffman at times. He will definitely remind you of him. But also he just kind of goes his own way. I think they both have a big career ahead of them. And then just a lot of other, Sean Penn's in there for a little bit. Tom Waits makes an appearance in it. I'm a diehard Tom Waits fan. Bradley Cooper literally probably should have got Best Supporting. Like, it should have been at least nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Streisand.
But it's, I don't know. Don't go in expecting any big thrills. It's kind of a day in the life kind of movie. It was more like, if you like Paul Thomas Anderson and some of the movies I mentioned, it's Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love, sort of, kind of like old Paul Thomas Anderson, a little more lighthearted. And it's a period piece, takes place in L.A., which is where he's from, so he kind of like pays homage to different historical parts around the town and just different things about the time period, random things like the invention of the waterbed and pinball machines, how they were banned in the area for a very long time up until that point. Like, they finally legalized pinball machines in
it's
the
weed,
70s.
Huh?
Yeah,
it's weird.
It was good enough for me to see in theaters twice already, and I can't wait to watch it again.
And no, I'm trying to think of my timeline here, because this is how many few movies have actually come out. Like, there's usually just a stockpile of them, but it's been 2 months. The French Dispatch, when did that come out?
It was definitely in 2021. So
was it before our last show? I just don't remember us talking about it.
I don't remember if we talked about it.
Dude,
either.
you had a Wes Anderson film and a Paul Thomas Anderson film come out the same year. That's crazy.
Crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
So
French Dispatch, it was my least favorite film he's ever made, honestly.
keyword favorite.
Right.
You know, doesn't mean you didn't hate it.
It's still a great film. Yeah, I still really enjoyed certain aspects of it and everything, but it was kind of like an anthology sort of film. And like any other, you just end up attaching yourself to one part. It's like, I liked this part more than all the others. And I kind of wish the whole movie was about
that
you know, Benicio del Toro and his paintings and Adrian Brody. And like I love that whole segment.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. It just didn't do it for me the way a lot of his other films do.
I mean, that still doesn't mean, you know, it's not good. So I just bought it on DVD, so I'm going to be watching it soon.
Cool.
So actually, it's on HBO Max as well. Speaking of HBO Max, do you want to know a movie that came under the radar? Last Duel.
Okay. Which you've been recommending. I still have not seen it.
Ridley Scott, yeah, Adam Driver, who's again just been my favorite actor. He was the best part of the Star Wars sequel trilogy for me, you know, and just everything he's like been in has just been just. It's not that he says he can make a bad movie. Of course he can, but it's not because of him,
right?
And it just really brings out just like it was brutal. It was in medieval times. I didn't know the process of a duel and what the repercussions are if that person was a false witness or what have you. I'm just like the stakes were high the entire time. I
love that kind of stuff too.
It was it was broken into 3 parts. It was Matt Damon's point of view, it was Adam Driver's point of view, and then it was the woman's, I can't remember her name. It was her point of view, which they called it The Truth. That's what it was. And
Ben Affleck's in it too, right?
Yeah, Ben Affleck's in it too.
I think that's what it was. When I saw it come out,
you saw Matt Damon. You're like,
Matt Damon, and I saw Ben Affleck trying to do like a historical, piece, you know. And for some reason, just on paper, I don't take that legitimately as being like.
I see what you mean, because I would have been like, if you gave me a piece of paper and it said, "Would you watch this movie?" and you just see Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
I just flipped the switch. Or, like my interest is just turned off. But like I don't know what. Now I'm thinking back. I'm like, why? They could make a movie like that.
Yeah, they may
because they never have.
Yeah,
doesn't mean they can't. They're both great actors. You know.
Yeah, it was a good surprise movie. Like, and it bombed at the box office. It was. I mean, again, this was like I think this is the Omicron variant, one of those, or the Delta variant. Excuse me. One of those variants that was peaked. And so nobody went back to the movies anymore. So it bombed.
Right.
But on HBO Max, man, if you get around to it, please watch it. It's definitely up there for my favorite movie of the year.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
So
the other one I watch is Power of the Dog. They're talking about a lot.
Yeah, that's another Oscar nominated.
One of like the front runners as far as the amount of nominations that it got.
I got to check to see a couple of.
I love westerns. It's just barely takes a back seat to horror for me, you know, neck and neck. So it's always good to see a modern Western because the foundation of American cinema is Westerns, you know. It's such a big part of what Hollywood was for so long. And the genre's all but died because it's just so outdated and whatever. But I just think there's a lot of potential for it to come back and for there to be potentially good stories told.
Yeah.
This one in particular, it wasn't quite what I expected. It's a really slow burn.
Okay.
Like
it looked like it kind of
beyond a slow burn.
It was boring. That's what
yeah, I would kind of say it was at times, you know. But honestly, what saved it the most for me, I noticed Johnny Greenwood is nominated for Best Score. That was one of my favorite nominations that I saw come from Power of the Dog because I love him. He's wild, man. Weird, really weird shit he does with his scores. He did There'll Be Blood, if anybody's seen that, and it's unsettling. You know, it's right off the bat, it just kind of like it sets an ominous atmosphere, like something you're always like, all right, something bad's gonna happen. I know something bad's gonna happen eventually. It almost seems out of place at times. Like I'd love to see how he even comes up with some of the really weird sounds that he does and stuff. Just that was the best part of the whole movie for me. It was the music.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
It would suck if they just like, yeah, we're gonna Coen Brothers this shit and not put any of it.
I think Cumberbatch is probably front runner for best actor.
Yeah, yeah.
He was good. He was really good in it. I'm wondering if maybe Will Smith could take it for King Richard, which I haven't seen yet. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I think it'd probably be one of those two.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst was in it. She's nominated. I think it's nominated for director. It was Jane something. I forget her name. Campion, something like that. She directed it. I think it's nominated for best picture. It's nominated for everything, pretty much. But I think if anything comes out of it, it might be score and actor.
Yeah, that's the crazy. That one. What was the name of the dog movie?
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
Power of the Dog has the most nominations for 12.
Okay.
Dune has the second for 10. You know what's crazy is Denis Villeneuve is not nominated. I can't say his name. Sorry, Dennis, whatever you want to call it. Sorry. Not nominated for Best Director.
Ooh, I don't agree with that.
Dave Bautista went on Twitter. You're like, you got all these fucking movies that nobody fucking watches, and then you got Dune, which was critically, universally claimed as a very good movie.
It's the best movie of the year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I could not.
It's that then Licorice Pizza for me.
Yeah,
Dune is number one.
Yeah, and for me, it's not even close. Honestly, I was just like, yeah, this movie was awesome.
I was blown away, man. My expectations were seriously through the roof, mostly because of you. You just fucking... Dude, it's the best thing you will ever see in your fucking life, man. Like
I did say I said those exact I was like, don't see it on a regular screen. Don't watch it on HBO
I went to
Max.
IMAX because of that.
Yeah,
I took your word for it. I went to IMAX, and I went in with my expectations literally higher than they could ever be. And walked out saying, wow, it exceeded expectations. Like, how is that possible?
Have you picked up the book yet?
No, I really want to.
I
love the original film, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the David Lynch one.
Man, you would love...
As goofy as it is, I love the original. I love the lore.
Yeah. It's a whole... It's just like Lord of the Rings, things like that. Like, just super lore rich.
What year did that book come out?
60s?
Yeah, I think it was like 60.
Because I think Star Wars borrowed a lot.
They did.
From their lore.
It was very
a lot. I mean, word for word, like the spice trade, like all that kind of stuff that's really integral to the film's plot. There is so much
1965.
I feel Star Wars directly ripped off, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
I could sit down and just make a long list of all the things that Star Wars directly took from Dune.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you make a movie first, I guess.
Right.
I mean,
right.
So, I mean, you did. It's probably like the studio was like, they took all our shit. We better make a movie real quick. So it came out, 1980? So,
yeah.
The Dune movie. So you're like, just...
But yeah, the spice trade and the sandworms and the sand people and all that kind of stuff really specifically that was like I just saw recently in Book of Boba Fett. I'm like, this is all Dune.
Yeah. I mean, they go into like the history too, like in the books. Like they say these people don't like these people because this, and like it's just a big, huge deep dive. You'd love them.
Yeah, I'd like to read that.
Yeah, it's I have the book downstairs. I've only read 2 books in my life. The Alchemist and Tuesdays with Morrie. I was in a depressed time. And that book is amazing still.
Well, The Alchemist is one of my favorite books of all time. So that was a great choice. Yeah. I've read that like 3 times, I think. I actually got Allie to read it too, and she loved it.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
Lots of life lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of stuff to take out of it.
It's an easy read, but it's an important one. It sticks with you if you pay attention to what it's trying to tell you. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, super good. But Dune is next. Hopefully, I don't know. I always say that, and I'm like, because I did that with Ready Player One, because I loved that movie. I bought the book, and then I got 20 pages in, and then stopped.
Well, it's hard to do it in reverse. If you read the book first, and then you get to see somebody's personal adaptation on screen of like what the mental images looked like to them, that's the order you need to do it in. You got to read the book, then watch the movie. If you watch the movie first, I don't know,
it's just a different experience.
Maybe other people can do it that way, but for me it's like I can't enjoy it in that order.
I think that's why that's part of the reason why a lot of people have big problems with movies that are based off of books because they have these images and these perceptions of these characters.
For sure,
and,
yeah.
Or they're not portrayed the way they envision them.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to relate to.
First time I really experienced that was the Harry Potter books were really popular when I was a kid. I started reading them in the 5th or 6th grade or something like that. A lot of the characters did not look even close to the way I thought they were going to look. Most of them did, but a lot didn't, you know. But what it is like you want to develop your own. That's the beauty of reading. That's, you know, the best part about it. You get to use your imagination and imagine this world, even though somebody else created the material. Once you already see somebody else's images, what they think it looks like, how do you get that out of your head and create your own? Yeah. You can't. You're stuck with the movie image.
Exactly. It's like a coloring book. It's like you have the lines, like which is the book, and then you use whatever colors you want to fill in those lines.
Right.
Like it's kind of the same.
So I might struggle with that with Dune, but
they get into a lot of detail. I think the biggest thing to take away from it is the amount of lore and like just the whole universe and how the world is set up.
They probably go deep into the houses that they have.
Yeah, and that's I thought the movie was great, but I still believe that the book is far superior to the movie.
Honestly, that was one of my complaints in the movie that if you went in not having, like, I at least had seen the original film from the 80s, that gets much more into the different houses and the different worlds and stuff like that, and it explains it a little bit. If I had only seen the new movie, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they don't explain it enough. It's confusing.
They will. If
part 2 has started filming, by the way. Part 2 is in the process, so I haven't been this excited for a non-Godzilla movie in a long time.
They really left us hanging, man. Where they end the movie, it's just like, wow, it's just taking off. It's just now becoming something completely new and different, and it's over. Yeah. Well, we can't complain. How long was the movie? Like they couldn't have made
40 minutes,
5 hours long.
Yeah, a 5-hour movie. Like no,
you haven't really gotten to see. You haven't even seen the Emperor yet. You know, the Hardican tribe, just like you really haven't really seen like what this guy is, I guess, capable of, and I love that, and I'm super excited to them to just open up this world, and that, if they do it that way, I just my expectations for the second movie are through the roof. So I was just
have they confirmed, is it a 2-parter or is it going to be a 3-part?
I think it's going to be
more of a saga. I hope so,
because if they go into battle with the Emperor, or what have you, where Paul becomes that or becomes the Emperor, I was just like, we haven't even seen the guy, and it's the second. We're about to be in the second movie. I was like, there's got to be. I'm almost certain, it's going to be like almost Return of, Empire Strikes Back type. It's going to be super dark. It's not to say that Dune wasn't already dark. So
there's enough material in those books for 5 movies. Maybe even
I hope they at least do 3 then and don't waste it. Like, I don't want it to feel rushed.
3 would be, I think 3 would be a good place to leave
off.
Nice
bow tie right there. Bow.
Right.
I'm still a little hungover. I can't. I'm trying really hard.
Motor skills.
Speaking of, beer me.
I don't even think I have it in.
Damn it. You let me down. Oh, yeah, they're all 20 empty bushes.
They're all offset.
Right there. I remember that night.
I tried really hard to get where I was at yesterday. This morning. But now we got I think it's about to take off. We talked about 40 minutes of just movies we've seen. That's how long we've been gone. I'll probably try not to make it that long again, but now we got tons of movies coming. Maverick's finally coming out.
Finally.
Top Gun Maverick's coming out. You got the new Doctor Strange movie. There's a Toy Story series. You got the
Batman.
The Batman. I'm super excited about it, but I've only watched one fucking trailer. So there's
man.
Yeah, the updated trailer was amazing, dude. It's awesome. It's gonna be good, man. It just looks super atmospheric, really dark. I love movies like that, man. Yep. It's just under 3 hours. It's gonna be.
I love it. I'm all about it. I'm all about long movies, dude.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that probably turns a lot of people off. But when I heard that, that was what got me the most excited. I was like, okay, it's not gonna feel rushed. Like I actually get to commit a decent portion of my day and go and enjoy something I'm looking forward to.
If it's all content and if it's all adding to the story, then make it 4 hours if you have to. If it's a good movie, I'm gonna sit there and watch that fucking thing.
Controversial Robert Pattinson Batman.
What do you? I mean, I'm all
wouldn't
about
say-
it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, not at this point.
After
It
watching,
was at first.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "What?"
Oh, what?
Well, they
You got
said that about Heath
Edward
Ledger.
Cullen?
Yeah,
That's
right.
It was like what?
Edward Cullen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have like Michael Keaton or something like that, but personally. But no, I'm on board because he's really showed his acting chops in the last couple years. I think he's a super talented actor. I like how diverse he's been. A lot of people have trouble tearing themselves away from that typecast role where he's Edward Cullen until the end of time now.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like the statute of limitations has kind of saved him there.
Yeah, it's tough though to take somebody that's been in such an iconic role and put them in such an iconic role.
Yeah.
You know, for somebody who is the face of an icon in film, and now make them the new face of another icon. You know, it's risky. But like I said, I think he's a super talented actor. He has the look for it.
Yeah.
You know, a young Bruce Wayne. He's got the jawline. Like I think he'll pull it off.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been my first pick, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much range he had. Like, he was in Harry Potter before that.
Yeah.
And then, The Lighthouse, and then, like, just a
Cedric
bunch of
Diggory?
different things, yeah.
Is that the character?
Yeah.
And he ends up dying in Goblet of Fire.
Yep.
That was like the
spoilers, dude.
That was like the
Jesus.
first truly. Well, you've had so much time to read the books and see the movies, people. It's your fault. If you haven't. But that was like the truly first darkest moment in the series. It's like, oh, we're gonna take a kid and kill them on screen and have his dad come out and have like an emotional breakdown. That was the transition into, okay, the Death Eaters are free reign now. Yeah. Like, these movies are about to get really dark.
I mean,
but yeah, Robert Pattinson was awesome in that.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. You know, kind of going off topic here, but now that you put it into that perspective, I'm just like, they did just kill a kid, and they're like, and this is
like
a movie.
Anything goes now.
Yeah, you're a kid watching
like,
it.
It had to happen.
Well, I mean, if you read the books, you obviously know that happened, and you're just like.
But when it does, it's so sudden. Like the Avada Kedavra curse, it's just like, oh, that's how easily and quickly you can die by the wand in Harry Potter. Like, or it's just crazy.
That was one of my favorite scenes. Not because he died. That was my favorite scene. Kids dying.
And he takes them back with the port key, and everybody's like, oh, and they're about to celebrate, and they're like, oh shit, something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll have a whole podcast about the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that rabbit hole. It was about Robert Pattinson and how he's a talented actor. He's
come a long way.
I think we got some great things to see from him in the near future.
So I'm super excited about seeing Batman. It comes out. I mean, if you're watching this now, it comes out in 3 days for me. I'm seeing Dolby Cinema. It's gonna be nice and relaxed with the shaking. I'm gonna be comfortable.
Didn't invite anybody.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I'm bitter. I'm bitter. I definitely would have.
I feel your judgment. I reject it completely. So I am taking my beautiful wife with me, and by the looks of both of you, one of you is beautiful, and I'm looking at him in the screen. No, but yeah, super excited about like the upcoming. You know, it kind of. COVID just ripped that whole like summer blockbuster movie. You know, like we don't even have them anymore. Like they're trying to come back. I think they're coming back this year. You know, with the Maverick and the Doctor Strange into Madness, and
Man, Top Gun better be fucking perfect. It better be the perfect film.
they had all this time to fix it.
Yeah.
If
the trailer was
it was
amazing.
supposed to come out 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Val Kilmer's obviously not in it. Did you watch that? Did you watch that documentary?
No.
It's sad.
Yeah,
it's
you mentioned
sad,
that.
but it's you're like,
it sucks that he can't be in it. Like,
yeah.
Controversial opinion. I'm not even a big Top Gun fan. Honestly, I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan. It's not one of my favorite Tony Scott films. But I do appreciate Val Kilmer's character in it, you know, obviously.
Iceman.
I'd like to see him back. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
I think they're gonna kill him off. I mean, obviously, I think that's why he's still whatever, you know, captain or what have you, Top Gun or whatever, you know. But oh man,
They need to put the Ghost of Kiev in there.
Dude, that dude's great. That dude, what he did. We don't get into politics, but that if you don't look, just look that up. But we did it. We're about 40 minutes. So we were supposed to talk about something else, but we'll have to wait on that until next week's show. It's the Average Joe Movie Show again. We're on live. We're live, right? Mm-hmm. We've been live.
We are live.
I don't have pants on. No, I'm just no, but no. This was great. This was great for a show. You know, we kind of caught things up. This was more of a catch up thing. That was the basis. Oh, my refrigerator just shut off. But yeah, we did a lot of catch up. You know, the Oscars are on the way. You know, we'll probably. I don't know.
Right, to embellish that. Talk a little bit more about that when we're coming up on, or obviously immediately following some of the winners.
We kind of just grazed over. You know,
there's still quite a few I need to see.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole
I
dedicated.
Watch Spencer because Kristen Stewart is likely to win Best Actress. There's quite a few. I want to watch King Richard. Like I said, I'll probably have more to say on the Oscars next time around.
I love Critical Drinkers. I don't know if you ever watch that. If he's a crazy, awesome YouTuber that reviews movies and just shits.
You showed me one of them.
He calls Kristen Stewart mouth breather. Every time he references Kristen Stewart, he just references a mouth breather.
She's always like.
Yeah. Teeth baring.
Yeah.
That was so perfect. It's so perfect.
Yeah, dude, I want to watch more of that guy's stuff. Really unique movie reviewer. What is he, Irish, Scottish?
He's Scottish.
Man, that guy, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious, and he's super he's critical.
And he's just getting smashed. He's getting drunk while he's doing it.
It's amazing. But we don't promote. He doesn't promote us. You know, this is the Average Joe Movie Show. We have more subscribers by less than 1 million. He has 1 million. We have 1. Thanks, Mom. Nah, but yeah, the next week's show we're gonna be talking the Batman probably exclusively. So yeah. Anything else you probably want to say? Any movies reference anything?
Nope.
Oh, damn, man. Nope. Yeah? Jane? Anything? So, oh, yeah. Well, it was great looking at your faces, everybody. But we'll see you all next week, and we'll make this a regular thing. Can't wait to see y'all. See you next time on the Average Joe Movie Show. Click like and subscribe if you're here on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, come visit us there on Facebook and on Instagram. You'll see us there. Peace, y'all. Peace. Peace be pies. I am so